Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Jack puts Ashley's alter on notice, and Jordan falls victim to Victor's sinister plan. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. At Crimson Lights, Jack greets Nick and asks about his mother. Nick says Victor dropped her off at rehab and she seemed nervous but determined. Jack's sure she can do it. Nick tells Jack he knows what happened. He said you drank with her and then hit up your old dealer for some pills. He asks if it was just about saving his mom. Jack says Nicky gave up. At that moment he would have done anything. Nick thinks it's crazy, but he won't judge him since his mom's in rehab. Are you okay? Jack insists he's not going back down the rabbit hole. Nick will take him at his word. He's grateful for what he did for Nicky. Jack imagines Victor doesn't share his gratitude. Nick confirms he does not. Jack figures he hates him now more than he ever did. Nick tells Jack he told his dad he should be thanking him. It went over about as well as you'd expect. Jack admits it wasn't pretty when he found them together. If Victor blames him, it's okay with him for Nicky's sake. Nick muses that he might come around. Jack smirks that the ceasefire with Victor was nice while it lasted, but it never really felt right. Nick still thinks his dad will come around. Jack thinks he's underestimating his father's ability to hold a grudge. Nick tells Jack he'll always have his back. Jack's weathered Victor's wrath before. Victor stops by the tack house to check on Claire. Cole appears and says he's spending quality time with his daughter. Victor asks how Claire is doing, and how she really feels after the ordeal her aunt put her through. He says whatever she needs, the family is here to help her. Claire tells Victor it hasn't been easy. She had a nightmare about the storage locker last night. Now that she has her family for real, the idea of losing that, Cole is sorry his aunt was able to get to her. I failed to keep you safe. Claire tells her dad he didn't fail. Jordan is a monster. Was a monster. She doesn't want to waste any more time thinking about her. Claire assures Victor she will be okay. Victor nods, we'll see to it. Claire wishes they'd hurry up and find Jordan's body. Victor figures by now she's in the middle of Lake Michigan. He advises Claire not to spend another minute thinking about her. Victor notices Cole's spending a lot of time at the ranch and asks, "Are you moving in?" Cole awkwardly responds, "No." Victor asks Claire to let them speak alone. Once she's gone, Victor wants to know how Cole's relationship with Victoria is. Has something changed? At Adam's place, Sally asks how his video call with Connor went. Adam says it was tough at first. He was talking a lot and felt kind of desperate about what to say and what not to say. But Connor seems to be responding to treatment and is more confident. He's setting boundaries with them too and schooled them on terms like disassociation. He can see how badly he wants to get better. Adam feels like an observer. Sally points out Connor feels empowered. That's positive. Adam feels like his son is moving on without him. He's leaving me behind. Sally sighs. Sally thinks his fears are a normal reaction. Adam feels like he's being selfish. Sally says it's okay to be overwhelmed and scared. Adam mutters about blaming himself when it's supposed to be about his son. Sally suggests he let himself off the hook for a minute. She's there to be his anchor. She pulls him close. Adam says he's dumped enough on her already, but can't imagine what he'd do without her. Sally says he can tell her anything, things he can't say to anyone else. She'll be there for him so he can be there for his son. They kiss. At Society, Chelsea looks at her phone and shows Billy that she gets updates from Connor's team daily now. She lives for them. Billy knows she misses her son. Chelsea just wants to hold him and make sure he's okay. She goes on about constantly second-guessing herself so she doesn't set Connor back and having to monitor Adam's behavior. Billy says Adam's an adult. He needs to take care of himself like she is for Connor's sake. Ashley's alter Miss Abbott walks into the club and tells Alan she hopes she hasn't kept him waiting long. She summons a waiter with a finger as Alan recalls how she was more about pleasure than business last night. Ms. Abbott curtly informs Alan there will be no more of that. Alan says she seems less comfortable with him than before. Ms. Abbott says she was inappropriate with him and apologizes. Alan asks her to indulge him by showing him some of the sights in Genoa City. Ms. Abbott snaps that he's there not as her friend, but as a psychologist. Don't patronize me. I made light of it last night, but I don't like it and I want it to stop. Alan's confused since Ashley wanted help before. He notes she's confrontational at this point. Ms. Abbott says she's uncomfortable and complains about her siblings thinking she's unhinged. Alan says Tracy told him she was afraid of what's happening to her. Is that not true? Ms. Abbott says she's fine. Alan tells him that since they're being straightforward. Ashley, I'm not sure at all that you're fine. He notes her demeanor has changed drastically since last night. There's something unfamiliar about her now. She blames the champagne. Alan insists she's totally different today. Ms. Abbott doesn't want him to feel insulted because she doesn't feel like playing today. Alan wonders where that leaves them. Ms. Abbott sees no reason for him to stay in town. In her cell, Jordan hollers for Victor and hams it up for his camera. She eyes the bottle of vodka and tells him she won't drink herself to death. She's much stronger than Nikki or any of them. Why don't you ask me what my poison is, huh? Maybe I'll even tell you. She calls out for someone to come drink with her at least. I'm not going to die alone here. At Adam's place, he and Sally are on the sofa after making love. He's so happy that she's there and puts up with him. He hates that they lost time because he was an idiot. Sally thinks they had to be apart to know they wanted to be together. They learned and grew through the grief and anger. They're a much stronger team now. I know you're going to get through this with Connor. Adam has to fight not to knee-jerk react. Sally thinks that's a good first step. He mentions him and Chelsea going to see Connor for a weekend visit. The doctors think he's ready. He's all for it, but Chelsea seems scared. Sally wonders if maybe she's just processing it differently. Adam worries about her sliding again. Sally asks him to promise to have more faith in Chelsea and in himself. You are both way stronger than you think. At society, Chelsea tells Billy that Adam is a great father and will figure this out. Billy gives her kudos for being open to that. Chelsea tells Billy what a great partner he's been. Billy loves her and wants to support her. Whatever you need. She kisses him. Victoria arrives at Crimson Lights and hugs Jack. What you did for my mom. You took such a risk. Jack is just glad Nikki got what she needs. Claire walks in and greets her mom and the group. Nick welcomes her home. Jack is glad to see her safe and sound and they chat about her bond with Harrison. Jack wishes Kyle and Summer could find a nanny who connects with him, like she does. Victoria thinks Claire should throw her hat in the ring. She's so good with Harrison. Claire can't think of a better job, but she doubts Summer would be on board. Victoria tells Nick that Summer has an attitude about her cousin. Nick thinks she's having a hard time adjusting to having a new family member, and the kidnapping didn't help. Jack offers to speak to Kyle and Summer, and takes off. Claire smiles at Victoria. Time to look for the future. In the club dining room, Alan feels like Ashley's trying to run him off. She thinks he should go attend his conference. Safe travels, she tells him and stalks out. At the tack house, Cole tells Victor that he and Victoria have reconnected. He wonders if Victor disapproves. Victor says he seems to be protective of Victoria and Claire, and he likes that. Cole loves them both very much. Victor's glad to hear it. Cole's glad to stick around as long as they're happy, but he wants Victor to be honest with him about his aunt's death and her fall into that river. Is there something we don't know? In the cell, Jordan suddenly starts itching and screams, "Victor, stop it. No spiders, please." She looks at the vodka and says, "Okay. Just one swig." She screws off the cap and drinks. At society, Chelsea tells Billy that since he's so sweet and supportive, she needs a little more advice. The doctors say Connor may be ready for a visit. She's considering going this weekend. Billy asks why she's only considering. Chelsea worries about undoing his progress. Billy advises her to listen to the doctors and stop overthinking it. Let's take yes as an answer. Chelsea nods. Connor seems stronger. Billy thinks this is part of the healing process for all three of them. They kiss.